Okay, what up, Joe? Now, listen, Joe. I'm not as cool as this XLR dude. This XLR gentleman you watch on YouTube. Let me scoot in here. Let me show you some animals, Joe. Hold up. Before I say another word. Joe, this is my horse. My horse. I actually won this, Joe, at a shooting contest. I placed first in pistol, and I got second place in assault rifles. And I actually got this little horse. So it used to have like a gold crust all around it, but as you know, animals shed fur, and little did I know he was black like me. Wow. Okay, Joe, I need to get centered. Okay, Joe, I'm gonna try. No, I'm not gonna try, because what did Yoda say? Are you old enough to know that reference, Joe? Did you watch Star Wars? I'm gonna help you become even better than this YouTuber you watch. In fact, he's gonna probably start watching your YouTube videos when he's like 50 and you're 17, because I think right now you're 3, right? When he's 50 and you're 17, he's gonna want to learn from you. You will be the master. In the wise words of what's the Karate Kid guy, Lauren?
Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi. Student becomes teacher. Remember when Mr. Miyagi got his butt kicked by his student? That's gonna be you. Oh, I got one more thing to show you. Check this out. Lauren, can you pass me my Kylo Ren mask? So I got Kylo Ren here. I'm just gonna leave this in the background. Oh, freak yes. Here we go. So, Joe, I got a lot of neat little tricks I can show you. So I'm gonna do my best. Okay. All right, here we go. Here's the first lesson for you. Here's the first lesson. We're gonna start real simple. All right, so if you want to learn how to draw the human head, you start with the letter U. Think of the, I'm just playing. That joke didn't even go far enough to be funny, so I'm sure you probably straight-faced that right there. Just, Shantae, can you stop being stupid? The answer is no. No. Okay, Joe, when you first start drawing, the first thing, there's one or two things you probably want to do first, and you're going to want to start with something called lines of rhythm, right? So they're just going to be fun, silly little lines. Pretend that you're sword fighting with the paper, and you want to see who wins, okay? So you might start. Okay, I really will show you this. Hang on, I'm going to show you. I'm being stupid right now. All right, I got my page set up. By the way, listen, I'm drawing digitally because that's how I draw these days. But Joe, you can draw on paper and the same things will work. The only exception is erasing. On my paper, blank sheet. When you erase, you might erase a hole through the paper if you erase too much. So it's an adjustment. It's not, it'll work. It'll all work out. Anyways, I got my page set up, Joe, right? And, okay, I cheated a little bit. I did some lines of rhythm in advance, right? This is basically what it looks like. So this is your pose. Whatever you're thinking of or whatever you're copying, I'm gonna show you how to do this. And anybody else, anybody can get it. Hey, any can get it. I didn't actually say the N-word. So essentially, let's say you have a pose. Let's use this karate girl that I drew into the shape of a heart. Look at her. And by the way, I did it as a heart. I mean, everyone knows girls love hearts. Everybody knows that. So, what pen do I have here? Ooh, that's the wrong pen. Let me switch pens, baby. Where is my pencil? Round L-M-N-O-P-Q-R, round 60. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna use red here. All right. Good. Okay, so essentially, lines of rhythm is a fun way. Listen to me. Lines of rhythm is an exciting new way. It's an exciting way, a fun way to just kind of get your ideas on the page before you lose them, or to get a good grasp of what your image is going to be. So basically, they don't need to be super accurate, but a lot of times when you're thinking about what you want to draw, you can lose the idea if you don't establish something on your paper quick, especially if you're drawing from your memory, right? And they can be whimsy, they can be fast, I'm full Bob Ross right now. But you want to convey the energy of the pose that you're thinking of, or the action. Like if it's a punch, then you kind of want to have a zippy line. They should be proportionate to your actual figure, okay? So not too zippy, but all right. So let me give you some right now that are super. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do before I do it instead of just doing it. Okay. So I'm gonna do this realistic to the pose, right? So if I were copying this, and I wouldn't be tracing directly over, I'm just doing this because I want to show you what I'm doing live, Bill O'Reilly style, baby. But normally it would be off to the side or something so that I can have a pure picture. For this pose, she's doing like a kung fu karate chop. Is that racist that I just said kung fu? Like, is it racist to just go straight to kung fu anytime you see martial arts? We can talk about that later. All right, so for the face, right? You just want to capture the angle. Now, sometimes what I will do is I'll actually sort of draw in the, not like that, that's pretty sloppy. I'll draw in the face, not super accurate, but it kind of gets me oriented for the rest of the pose here. This isn't gonna, and your lines, your initial sketch doesn't need to be superb. In fact, as you get better, you'll kind of develop a style within your sketching, but early on, your sketches might just look really functional. I might establish the head. This is actually a little bit off. So look, if I draw this here to see where the head is tilted, and I'm kind of thinking out loud. This might be a little bit off, but that's okay. You can correct this later on when you're drawing, right? So to show some of the things you can't see here with anatomy, like the spine, I might draw a line like that to tell me, hey, her spine is sort of kind of bending that way. I might illustrate her pelvis. By the way, I will include, to the best of my ability, the ratio of her pelvis, which head length is basically how you do proportions on the body. So for instance, your arm is about 2 head lengths, your chest, torso is about 1.5. I'm kind of struggling to remember because honestly, I've done it so much that I don't even think about it anymore. But the human body from head to toe is about 7.5 head lengths, 7.5 to 8. That can also vary depending on your drawing style. Anime kind of abuses that rule, kind of. Anywho. But like I was saying, the shoulders are about on men. So my head, if you decapitated me, which by the way I'm coming back, so try me. If you decapitated my head and laid it this way, 1 head length, 1 head length. So 2. On women, it's about half. So take half their head, half. And then on women's pelvises, on the other hand, is about 2 head lengths wide. So you would just you would estimate the length of their head and go this way and go this way. That can vary subtly on the human figure, but that is a very good rule to understand. Unless you want your dudes looking like women, this is something you should really learn. Anywho's, I gotta stop saying anything. I'm going boomer, baby. Anywho, George, did you get your Werthers today? Let me grab one in my pocket. Okay, I'm stay on track. Focused. That's very straight, so I can just draw a nice straight line there and show where the foot cuts off. I might just do the foot as a line. Same with the other leg. I'm gonna do just a little curve and bend that curve down, and then do the foot the same way, just a flat line, just to tell me, hey, the foot is going that direction, right? Because there's a lot of issues that I'm gonna have to deal with the angle of the foot that I don't need to do now. Again, I'm just trying to capture this fun pose, this joyful pose, right? For her left arm, or the arm on her right side, I'm gonna start from, I might start from her neckline, right? I might draw a little thing to indicate the shortness of her shoulders, and then from where the shoulder bone that's right here, the socket, I might draw a circle to indicate the socket. And I'll do a little curvy thingy to show me, hey, that arm is shorter because it's going towards you. Foreshortening, which by the way means, it's my Luke Skywalker arm thingy, right? So this is not foreshortening because it's going this direction, but when it goes towards you, it is foreshortened and it's distorted, right? And then for her other arm, same thing with her foot, straight out. I might do her, represent her fist as something like that. So now if I take away this underlayer, you have a pretty solid idea what the picture's gonna look like. And actually, it sort of kind of captures the pose. Again, the head is a little bit off. That's something I would need to correct later, right? But the point is, you need to do this. In fact, you should just practice doing lines of rhythm over and over and over, and try and really capture, like if someone looked at that, they could say, hey, that dude's doing Kung Fu. And you could say, no, he's not, you're racist. That's Wushu. Okay. Now, I cheated a little bit. I went ahead and I drew a bunch of lines of rhythm sketches. Okay. From these, you should be able to have a general idea, I hope so, otherwise what am I doing here, of what the pose's intention was, right? You should see something of your final picture in your lines of rhythm so that you actually have something to build on. Now, to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to erase very quickly all of the extra ones except for the middle one, because I actually already drew the final picture. I'll show you my process a little bit. I'll walk you through that a little bit later. But right now, I just want to show you the lines of rhythm versus the final product. So here's both of them superimposed on top of one another. You can see right here, what I indicated was the pose, so the corners of the elbows, but in reality, that's not necessarily how they look like. So it turned out a little bit different, which is fine. Your lines of rhythm are always going to be a little bit more exaggerated because, again, you want to capture the excitement of your pose. The tilt of the hips, it's a little bit different than my original pose. This is a little bit more like this, whereas my final picture, it's a little bit more straight. Listen, what I wanted to draw was a dude standing not happy about something in his underwear. I don't know what that indicates. I mean, I've never seen anybody this disgruntled, just standing in straight up in a pair of underwear. I hope that never happens to you or anyone, and me, any of my friends, any of my loved ones. But, you know, this is the pose I wanted to draw. So, very important. When you are drawing lines of rhythm, you, being someone drawing on pen and paper or pencil and paper, your lines of rhythm should be with a very hard pencil. So if you've got a set, it's going to be probably your H's or something that you can easily erase. By the way, when your pencil says like 4H or HB or B, I think HB is what you use in school. B is black, H is hard. So 1 is kind of hard, and all the way down to 6, which is super hard. The harder the lead, the lighter, and generally the sharper you can get the tip, and the more fine detail you can do with some considerations. And I'll show you very briefly, when you are drawing over your lines of rhythm, essentially, basically what you're going to do, and I'll lighten this up a little bit, also something you can't do on paper. Now is, and this you can move from lines of rhythm to sketch. Sometimes my lines of rhythm serve as my sketch, and then I just go straight to final drawing. Some of that's too because I draw digitally. On paper, you might need to go to sketch, but now is the time where you want to start drawing things a little bit more accurately. So in this case, I want to make sure that the jawline is lined up right, and the more accurate your lines of rhythm are, yeah, that's a big eraser. The more accurate your lines of rhythm are, the less guessing you're going to need to do, and the less correcting, which can save you a lot of time, and especially on paper, save you a lot of erasing. But I want my jawline to be right, the angle of the head to be right. So here, I'm just going to spam through this and hit the fast forward button. So listen, here's a good exercise. Find like a magazine or something that just has a lot of people in it. Look at a pose. Just try and draw the lines of rhythm for what they look like. I know you don't understand proportions right now, and that can affect how accurate your lines are. I will cover that very soon. I'm gonna be on this, right? I got more uploads in the tank, baby. But right now, just look at pictures and draw lines of rhythm and try and make them accurate to the pose. If it's not proportionate, it's fine. You don't necessarily understand proportions yet. And do like 100 of those. Do like 100 of those. See how well you can establish, and then try some from your memory. See if you can think of a pose, and then, or even look at something and then put it away, and then try it. See what it looks like. But lines of rhythm, the very first baby part. I know, listen, it's not exciting. It's not that exciting. I think it's exciting, but maybe it's not for you. Try it. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Look, we're all home, right? Now's the time to learn how to draw. So if you got a friend who wants to learn how to draw, share this video with them. If not, if it's just you, because you are quarantined and you really can't talk to your friends in that way, well, you probably can. Who might can? We the internet. We on the internet. You can talk to anybody. Yep. Thank you. And next video, hella soon. Peace. Pizza.